Hi class, it's Dea. I wanted to talk about a content creator that I find to be particularly funny. In this specific case, it is Caleb Presley with Barstool Sports. I do feel a little bit embarrassed saying that, and I will get into it more as I talk about it. Caleb Presley is a 30-year-old retired quarterback who earned his role as the supervisor of morale for University of South Carolina. He is the first person in college football to be titled that role. And the reason they did that is because his peers and teachers realized he is a person who not only promotes school spirit, but happiness and humor are two things very important to him. As he did that, he was recruited by a company called Barstool Sports, and then went on an American college tour where he promoted parties and would do comedy gigs. In more recent years, Caleb Presley started this podcast that I love called Sunday Conversation. It's Sunday as in ice cream. I have found this particularly funny because I love his interview style. Rather than asking questions about sports, he tends to ask celebrities and other famous athletes uncomfortable questions that normally you would never see in a podcast or in an interview. And it is a podcast, but it is shot very traditional interview style, two chairs side by side. I think Caleb Presley does a really good job at having shocking humor, but he's not offensive, and it's very not necessarily appropriate, but it's enjoyable to watch no matter who you are. It's shocking, but it's still funny. He's interviewed a lot of big names like Drake and Theo Vaughn and a lot of sports players that I know nothing about. And I think a huge part of why I think this is so funny is because it's Barstool Sports. I am a 20-year-old liberal woman in Los Angeles, and I have no interest in sports, and I go to community college. And I think the unrelatability of this podcast is why I think it's so hilarious. And I find a sense of comfort in watching it because it kind of reminds me of the people you hate in high school. It's very filmed by somebody who you would think was a bully in high school. And I just really enjoy getting the opportunity to laugh at people like that in a perspective where they're poking fun at it the whole time, and it's kind of innocent humor. If you have never watched this podcast, I really recommend giving it a shot. The episodes are super short, so they're always very entertaining. I think the longest one I've seen is 6 minutes. And they're only released once a month. But give it a shot, check it out, and thanks for listening to what I had to say.